Well, at midnight this Thursday, the world's capital city, Melbourne, for lockdown, gets its freedom. Freedom Day this Friday. Of course, it was last week, Freedom Day in New South Wales. And I can't explain why Melbourne has been the lockdown capital of the world, but I can certainly tell you the joy of getting some freedom is extraordinary for any of us in Melbourne, any of us in Victoria. On Freedom Day in New South Wales, I launched a report called A Shot of Hope. It was a report that Marker Australia with the Burnett Institute and Allied Global Health Institutes wrote, saying only 2.5% of the world's poor have been vaccinated. We know here in Melbourne, we couldn't contain the Delta virus. It's only been vaccinations that have allowed us now to have Freedom Day this Friday. But what about the world's poor? Most still unvaccinated. Shot of Hope said, for $50 billion US, we can vaccinate the whole of the world's population, at least 90% of them, by the end of 2022, for $50 billion US. The Australian government's contribution to that, this report says, will be an extra $250 million to the COVAX facility, which is the facility to vaccinate the world's poor. The report said that epidemiologists in developing countries, 28 countries, warn that with unvaccinated people in their poor countries, the virus will mutate, the strains will reach us, and we could be in lockdown again. In other words, it's in our self-interest to vaccinate the world's poor. Of course, closer to home, less than 1% of the PNG population are vaccinated. Their hospitals are full of COVID patients, desperate for ICUs and oxygen tanks. That's just 6 kilometres across the water from Australia. This problem, this challenge is so near, so urgent. Let's get behind A Shot of Hope.